Now to the growing controversy over deadly U.S. airstrikes on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. The White House at first denied there was a follow-up attack that killed 2 survivors of the first strike. Now it says, yep, there was a second attack, but insists that it was all very legal. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth faces new questions from lawmakers in both parties about exactly what happened here. Nancy Cordes is at the White House with the latest on this. Nancy, Rob just said something about a dicey commute. I think things are getting very dicey at the White House this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Quite dicey, Gayle, when you have lawmakers openly asking whether this was a war crime. Now, just days ago, the Secretary of Defense called this story fabricated. He said it was inflammatory. But then yesterday, the White House confirmed the military did make a second strike on a suspected Venezuelan drug boat in September.
Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes.
Reading from prepared remarks, the White House press secretary said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did order this strike on a suspected drug boat on September 2nd, but did not issue an order to kill everybody, as the Washington Post first reported this weekend. Instead, she said it was Navy Admiral Frank Bradley's decision to order a second strike to ensure the boat was destroyed.
Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law.
Her comments came just one day after President Trump claimed there was no second strike.
No, I wouldn't have wanted that, not a second strike. The first strike was very lethal. It was fine, and if there were 2 people around, but Pete said that didn't happen.
The shifting explanations frustrated lawmakers from both sides, who are now demanding to see the orders and the video of the second strike.
We're going to conduct oversight, and we're going to try to get to the facts.
It's already been crystal clear that Pete Hegseth is the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in American history.
Levin insisted the strike was conducted in self-defense and did not violate the rules of armed conflict. But DOD's Law of War Manual states that shipwrecked combatants are in a helpless state, and it would be dishonorable and inhumane to make them the object of attack.
The second strike is a war crime because these individuals were injured, they were in the water. The basic rules of war that are involved here make very clear that you do not strike wounded people in the water in order to kill them.
That's coming from a former Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta. We are also learning more about a recent call between President Trump and Venezuelan President Maduro. The Miami Herald is reporting that Maduro told Trump he's willing to leave the country in exchange for full legal amnesty, among other demands. Trump rejected his offer, according to the Herald, and instead told the Venezuelan president that he had a week to resign and leave the country, which has not happened, Tony.
Nancy, speaking of learning more, while we have you, the White House also released details of the president's recent medical MRI test. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this got a lot of attention because the president kept claiming he didn't know why he got an MRI. Well, now the White House has released a memo from President Trump's physician that said that Mr. Trump underwent advanced imaging of his abdomen and his cardiovascular system for preventative reasons. His doctor said that Trump's cardiovascular imaging is perfectly normal and shows excellent health. The White House did not release the actual report from the radiologist, Tony.
All right, Nancy, thank you very much.